Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope all of you are in good condition. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Berita Mambarasi Nehe, and my friends Ade Eka Anggraini, Fadilla Oktaviana, and Yeni Sulaeman will present our latest result of the research about coping with remote language learning through YouTube, benefit and challenge at the first Cirebon International Conference. Introduction. Moving instruction from offline learning into online learning is happened since COVID-19 pandemic, and higher education has been influenced by the COVID-19 pandemic since early this year as well. Global COVID-19 pandemic forced almost all over the countries in the world to do lockdown to cut chain of the virus by doing work from home, study from home, and pray from home. Like or dislike, comfortable or not, everyone must adapt himself or herself into online teaching. It cannot be denied. Work from home at the worst time really confusing, waste time, and moreover, the lecturers run many tasks at home because their children also study from home, and the children have many tasks from their teachers. Of course, parents must help children while he or she teaches online with students, so here the lecturers have multitasking in the same time. And from here, the lecturer must find the solution to the remote learning by using proper application. Many ways to teach online, such as through Zoom, Google Classroom, or Google Meet, WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Skype, and many other applications. In running these programs, many lecturers feel sad because they must pay attention to students' condition, and not all students can accept online learning or remote learning because signal and cost become problems for several students. A good lecture, as good lecturers, we must pay attention to students' difficulties as well in joining remote learning. And through the time, the lecturers learn deeply which application is suitable for self and student in COVID-19 pandemic. After doing several applications on online system and compare between one to another, the authors find the effective one to be applied in COVID-19 pandemic, and it is suited to students' condition as well. The proper application for lecturer and student is YouTube. According to Anbuzetumor, YouTube provides free access to a substantial amount of educational videos, therefore making it a viable option for students to receive useful material for learning purpose. PDAFI. The YouTube video application has been studied in variety of previous research. YouTube is increasingly being used by educators as a pedagogical resource for especially in teaching English as a second language. More, usage of YouTube as a teaching facilitator is particularly effective in knowledge construction and memory creation. YouTube as a tool of learning is used to support the learning and can add the information, and it can be shared to students to make the learning more meaningful because interesting videos give more students to imagine the material better. Benefits of YouTube according to Clifton and Seaman. The first benefit to using YouTube in teaching and learning is that it's a recognized tool from digital environment on the NetGet. YouTube is an established social software and has millions of users and is already being used as both an informal and formal learning tool by many. As its benefits are becoming more established, universities are adding their own channel to provide wider access to their institution learning materials. A benefit to using YouTube as a learning resource is ubiquity, the fact that it can be accessed anywhere at any time. It is like having a digital TV running several thousands on-demand channels at once, which are never switched off. This means students can engage with their learning at a time and place to suit them. Clearly, YouTube has the benefit of reaching out to our students, but we need to be clear about the ways that this resource can benefit learning specifically. And according to W. Al-Murashi, YouTube could be a good material to incorporate English lesson and can also help with understanding the lesson. It's found that the use of YouTube can play a vital role in helping people understand their English lesson, improve their performance, and advance their understanding of English. The instructors must pay attention well to the topics that will be given to students through YouTube, because teaching is not only transfer the knowledge, but teaching must reach the teaching goal as formulated before starting teaching. Research method. The research used qualitative research to describe the fundamental process of remote learning through YouTube from the beginning until the class ends. The participants or students on the second semester of English Department of STK IPST Budi Rangkas Bitung, Indonesia, who joined speaking lesson. Result and discussion. Here, we propose YouTube link, topic, date, time, and the screenshot of speaking lesson we make on the YouTube. And here is YouTube link. For the topic is having a good speech, and for the date 20 April 2020, and for the time 2 minutes 33 seconds. The second about reading news for students. For the date 29 April 2020, for the time 2 seconds and 32, and YouTube link is there, and the screenshot of speaking lesson video is available, so you can check my video on YouTube over there. Next, YouTube link is here for the topic talking about something happened in the past, 5th May 2020, and for the time 7 minutes and 4 seconds. Screenshot of speaking lesson video is available. Benefits of using YouTube. Steps of remote learning by using YouTube are: first is preparation. The lecture communicated with students through WhatsApp application by giving the link of YouTube. Then the lectures made their own video based on the topic head. Second is teaching. They were asked to watch the video and permit the student to download the video to repeat the lesson, so they can learn the video by their own way. Third is assessing. The lecture assessed students' work on column comment and asked them to respond the video on column comment. Respond the video means that the student had completed the task. And the steps of making video in YouTube were: first, you shoot your own learning video by using X Recorder and Canva feature to help you making a video. After finish, you edit your own video before upload to YouTube. Then you upload your own video into YouTube and contact all your students to watch you on YouTube and share the YouTube link. After that, you ask them to watch the lesson and do the task based on your recommendation on the content, and ask them to do the task in the comment. Then you reply your students' task in comment as well. You must give them long time to watch and study independently before submitting the answer of the task regarding to the connectivity, because not all students who stay in the city, and for students who stay in the village, they feel sorry with pandemic condition. So as a lecturer must be wise to see the remote learning. And finally, the learning is finished. It must be remembered, when you want to meet again in virtual class, you must contact your student before the time coming and make an appointment with your student for the following topic on the next day. And findings. The finding. YouTube gave much benefit for lecturers and students, and it was an interesting audiovisual and teaching through video support by some application at the additional age. They were WhatsApp, X Recorder, and Canva. For lectures, YouTube was very effective and easy to be used in remote learning. The data of your lesson video was kept well and everlasting by YouTube, so whenever you want to watch, you could open and watch your own video again. Other people who were not engaged as your student could watch your video as well because your video was open for public. It means that your lesson gave the benefit for public as well. In responding your lesson, you didn't need to provide any paper or other application because in YouTube there was a column command, so the student could do the task there easily. Column command was a place to communicate between lecturer and student, and the lecturer could respond to the student there as well when she wants to give comment. And the content of the video, you could arrange the video by your own way, whether you want to make long or short video depend on your student need and your own creativity. In giving a task based on your video, don't ask the students to submit the task fast because some students had some trouble in connectivity or signal who stay in the village. In this case, you must give your student longer time to complete the task. Saving your own video on YouTube made your smartphone free from video data, and using YouTube gave a good contribution for the lectures. They could do many other things at home freely when the student watched and learned the video. And the benefit for students that they could download video and they could learn by themselves to repeat the lesson until they understand. Longer time given by the lecture gave students spare time to complete the task freely. Feeling free made students enjoy submitting the assignment, and students didn't need to waste much time to understand the content about the lesson. If the students didn't understand about the lesson, they could turn on the subtitle. Subtitle was a feature on YouTube to see the text when the lecture spoke up, and running text would show the content on the video. The cost that was spent to watch the video or download was very cheap. To reduce student cost, in this case, credit for internet, the lecturer must limit the duration in presenting the video. Samples of short learning video of speaking subject, the duration of time about 2 minutes until 7 minutes, and the students only spend the cost for watching or downloading the video less than about 1,000 rupiah. So there is no reason anymore that watching learning video on YouTube with short duration is expensive. Challenge of using YouTube. Technology era was faced with unprepared facilities. For example, students had handphone but they didn't have any credit to connect the internet, and this became a problem in learning. And the student must wait for the right time until they have credit to finish the task from the lectures, or they send the task on comment column by borrowing their relative's handphone. Location could be a trouble as well. Some students in STKIP Setiawadi Rangkas Bitung stayed in a rural area which is far away from the city because the connectivity got trouble and they were difficult to watch and download the video, and they must go to another places in their village to get signal, and of course it need time to do that. Internet connection in some places in Lebak Regency, many places were still problem with signal. When the students open the YouTube for downloading, it needs time to download, so the student must wait for several times to have the video. Both lectures Both lecturers and students sometimes were not ready with remote learning because there were so many complicated preparation must be done between lecturers and students, like making video, credit for internet, student readiness, signal trouble. Both parties must agree with this situation for not to blame on each another. Time in completing the task. The project on remote learning must be longer than learning in the classroom because both lecturers and students had committed to submit the task not too soon because connectivity problem. Both lecturer and students must have an appointment to have remote class learning on the day determined based on the schedule in the offline class. Sometimes students' motivation was tentative in having remote learning. There were some students who didn't collect the task because their low belief in doing remote learning. They got stressed to study alone with gadget, and this way was very different from the classroom in which They could directly ask the lecturers when they didn't understand, and it made them lazy to complete the task. On YouTube, students were awkward to discuss with friends in column comments, so they only respond the task to the lecturer alone. And here is for the conclusion. Coping with remote language learning through YouTube indicates the readiness from the lecturers, even though some challenges were faced by them, but all the challenges can be overcome through wise mindset and good heart, because the main point of being a lecturer must do a good teaching in any condition, whether in the classroom or in online learning or remote learning, remote learning. COVID-19 pandemic is an extraordinary event nowadays. The constructions of learning system and working pattern make all people were very shocked, but all things must go on. Here, everybody must change the mindset fast for not to be left behind in running remote learning. New work pattern now is on digital. All lecturers must be ready with gadget on hand to the teaching, and lecturer must create good management of time in doing remote learning. YouTube provide the benefit both for lecturers and students in case of preparation, teaching, assessing, and feedback. And YouTube gave challenge both of them as well in the case of unprepared facilities, location, time management, and motivation. But all those challenges could be solved together with good communication from both parties in order teaching learning process keep running. And finally, use YouTube to support remote learning wisely in COVID-19 outbreak. Okay, thank you for watching this presentation. Work from home, study from home, pray from home, and keep healthy all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.